Kris, I just want to ask about, you guys obviously you're picked to go far this year, and every team that come in here kind of use you guys as a measuring stick. How do you guys approach that, knowing that you're probably going to get every team's best games?
I think it's great. I think it's good competition for us, and if we're seeing everybody's best, it's only going to bring out the best in us, and it's just going to help us down in the long run. Obviously, it'll be a little more difficult each night to win games and move up the standings. But overall, it'll be making us a better team, and we want to be a better team at the end of the season.
Are you almost a little relieved that training camp is over and you can kind of start the real thing now?
I think everyone's excited to get the regular season going. Definitely the players are done with practices and the skates and the drills and want to play games. Hearing the coach talk about systems and the drills you're doing and all that, they want to move on. They want to play the games, and that's why they do this. And tomorrow night is the big night that we get to do this.
What's your read on your team, Kris, just going into the new season? After everything that happened last year, too, short summer.
Optimistic, feel good about the team. I think highly of the guys that we brought in, and the guys that are remaining that were on this team last year are extremely dedicated, motivated to have a good season. And, everyone's just ready to get going.
Whatever was learned in the devastating loss last season, does any of it get used now? Is it of any use as the season opens? Does it not come into play till we get later in the year, playoffs? Get anything out of that?
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that. I think anytime you have, whether it's a positive experience, negative experience, I think it is helpful just because it is an experience that you can use later down the road. How we use it, I guess that's up to us. Maybe it's distracting, maybe it's motivating. I don't know, but I think anytime you have an extra playoff series, an extra game, an extra NHL game, whatever it is, I think it's beneficial for the team, that player. And that last playoff series, I think good for our players that it was a learning experience, and we can use that in the future.
Overall, was it a positive or negative experience?
Well, I think anytime you lose, it's negative, just because of it's negative in just it's hard. It's hard to turn the page, and it's disappointing. But I guess it can be a positive experience to helping us in the future. Whether it's helping us dig in or, that series made us a better team because we had to persevere. We had to adapt. And I think through that series, we did do that. So I think going through that series made us better that day, and hopefully it'll help us in the future also.
When you came in last year, you broke the segment. You broke the rest of the season down into segments. Going from the start of the year, do you do that as well? Or
yeah, every team that I've had, we've done some kind of segments. This year we'll do segments also. We've done 7, 5, 8, but I think it's important the players see where they are at the moment and how they're playing, and usually the scoring chances that we give up or how our power play executing or penalty kill ultimately tells us how well we're doing in a 7-8 game segment. And it's if you look at one game, often there's so many factors on, did your goalie play well? Did the other goalies play well? Did you get lucky? Did the officials give you some easy calls? Whatever it is. But if you break it down in those little segments, I think it's important for the team to know kind of how they're playing and how things are going. And you don't want to look at a 82 game segment because it's too big, too broad. And if you look just from one game to the next, I've been part of many games where you play unbelievable and you deserve to win, you didn't. And I've been part of the games where you're awful and you won. And it's a good perspective of the players just to kind of look back and say, okay, this is how things are going right now.
Is there a player or two, Kris, that you want to see starting the season that maybe you didn't know a whole heck of a lot about, and you're curious to see how they react and adjust to starting the season here tomorrow?
Well, I think all the players that have been new to my team, the players that I had last year, I think I know what they are. I think we know what they're going to provide. All the new players, whether it's Emberson, Podkolzin, even the older players who played in the league for a while, like Skinner and Arvidsson. You know, those guys, I'm interested to see how they fit in the team and how they play. But I guess more intrigued with the younger players who are kind of their NHL career is just starting to go. You know, they've been in the NHL for a little bit and they've had a little bit of experience, but now they've got a new situation and hopefully they can thrive in that.
Emerson is he's been next to Darnell Nurse in all of the practices. He's played with him for a game. He looks like he'll get this look on a second pairing. What have you kind of seen from him on and off the ice, like how he'll handle this situation that he's being, that he's earned, but he's put in here?
You never know exactly how they're going to handle it. One thing you see exhibition games or even practice, how they play, and you know, so far he's had an outstanding start. But his experience or his time with Darnell has been very limited just because of Darnell's injury and not being able to play in the exhibition games until the end. And also now the regular season's ramping up, the exhibition's done, and now we're playing the regular season. The competition's higher, the pace is a lot faster. Now we're going to see more of what he is. But you know, I think, you know, with those two, I know there's been a lot of talk, communication on the bench after shifts, which I think is just going to help those two tremendously. But hopefully we can build something there, and they're a good pair for us.
And is Nurse starting the season healthy? Like, I know there was a plan to give him his best chance. He didn't come in completely ready, but
yeah, no, I think he feels really well. You know, 2 exhibition games. Most of the guys played 4, maybe 5, but you know, I think from day one he looked really well on the ice. You know, maybe, you know, all the drills that we did, the contact drills, you know, he was part of it. You know, practice contact and game contact's obviously a little bit different. You're not getting stapled up against the glass on a forecheck from a power forward in practice, opposed to, you know, in a game. So, but you know, in practice, right from day one at camp, he's been doing all that and has looked really good, explosive, no pain, no discomfort. So I think he's in a good place.
Do the guys that you write in Savoy, do they have to come physically?
They have to be here. They have to come
So
here.
they're sitting in their hotel room because they weren't on the ice?
Yeah, no, they weren't on the ice, but yeah, they had to come here.
Did Wright even play an exhibition game? I don't recall.
Wright did, yes, and he had I'm not sure he played maybe the second game. Had a great game and great camp. Yeah, no, I thought he did very, very well.
And Lavoie getting picked up, what do you think in the waivers?
That's, yeah, I think.
Does he deserve a chance somewhere else, I guess is what people are.
That's a difficult one to say. I don't think that's all played out right now. But I don't want to lose a player like that. I think he's a good hockey player. I think he has a future. Just unfortunately couldn't fit in with our team right now. But definitely be an NHL player, and probably very soon.
What did you learn from doing all those interviews in the Stanley Cup playoffs? Way more than you normally would. By the time you got to the end, were you tired of all the questions?
Never. I could be never tired of you guys. I enjoyed it.
Because I mean, you were getting, you know, it's tough to measure up to Paul Maurice, who goes on and on and on and on. You're somewhat quieter.
Yeah, no, it was all right. I didn't mind it. It's fine. Yes, it just yeah, no, I guess when you're going from city to city, often you field a set of questions, and then you go to a new city, new reporters, they want to find that same information, and then you're doing it all over again.
So trying to frame it.
Frame it differently, but it's the message obviously is not going to change from Tuesday to Wednesday.